Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, everybody. This is Abu Rasheed with you, and it's very nice to be with you. Thank you for rejoining the channel and watching another episode. I'm trying to diversify the content as much as possible so that you can approach this language from different angles, right? And that is actually a beneficial approach, inshallah ta'ala. And in this particular episode, I'm going to introduce you to simple dialogues. And the simple dialogues is where you can learn vocabulary contextually in there while words are being used. I think that's the most powerful, most effective way that you can grasp the meaning of the word, and rather than isolation and static word lists, as I've said before. And so, inshallah, you will learn the words more effectively. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through the dialogue a couple of times. The first time I'll just run through it, and then the second time I will give you the meanings and go, explain the sentence, sentence by sentence. Okay, basically. And in order to keep the video short, I was going to read the dialogue a third time so that you don't have to go back and review it. But just to keep the video short, I would rather have you go and rewatch at least the first half of the video where I just run through the sentence after having understood at least most, if not all, the meanings of the sentences. Okay, so deal. Inshallah, I will, after I read it a second time and we end this video, go back and watch it at least the first half. Okay, and if you need to review the second half, regarding the meanings. Okay. Here we go. So, one more thing. As far as the coloring goes, to reflect the parts of speech, I've colored the particles in lavender. I've colored the verbs in yellowish slight green, as appears on your screen, I guess. And then I've left all the nouns as is uncolored, except for nouns where I've colored them in turquoise, and I've done that to remind myself to let you know that, for example, if a noun comes in a singular form, I will give you the plural. And if the noun comes in a plural form, I'll give you the singular. And actually the same thing for verbs. When it comes to verbs, what I've done is the highlighting helps me remember that if it's in past tense, I will give you the present tense and the imperative. And if it's in the present tense, I'll give you the past and imperative. And if it's imperative, I'll give you the past and present. Okay, let's try to get you all three tenses of the verb. Okay, that way, singular, plural, noun, past, present, imperative, verb, you pick up on more vocabulary in a practical way. Okay, so let me go through the dialogue here quickly, and then we'll go through a second time from a meaning perspective. Okay, here we go. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالك يا أستاذ؟ لعلك بخير. الحمد لله. وكيف حالك أنت يا هاشم؟ أنا أحبك كثيرا يا هاشم. إنك طالب ذكي ومجتهد وذو خلق. أمن باكستان أنت؟ أم من الهند يا هاشم؟ إني من الهند. وزميلك الذي خرج معك الآن من الفصل أهو أيضا من الهند؟ لا، إنه من باكستان. إن ساعتك جميلة يا هاشم. أمن اليابان هي؟ لا، إنها من الهند. أغالية هي أم رخيصة؟ إنها رخيصة جدا. إنها ب100 روبية فقط. كم أخا لك يا هاشم؟ لي 3 إخوة. الطلاب هم؟ لا، إنهم تجار. وكم أختا لك؟ لي 4 أخوات. أفي الهند هن الآن؟ لا، إنهن هنا بالمدينة المنورة مع أبي وأمي. الطالبات هن؟ لا، إنهن مدرسات بالمدرسة الثانوية. All right. Let's look at this now. All righty. So let's go through this. First of all, he says, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Well, first of all, I want to say again that I'm not going to analyze this sentence from a grammatical perspective. I save those for other videos. I'm not going to say, for example, Assalamu is mubtada marfu' وعلامة رفعها الضمة عليكم جار ومجرور شبه جملة في محل رفع خبر etc. etc. I'm not doing that here. I just want you to comprehend the sentence, okay? I may make a grammatical or morphological point here or there, but other than that, I'm going to focus as much as possible on comprehension and vocabulary, okay? So here we go. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon to you. Meaning, salamullahi alaikum. Meaning, may the peace of Allah, may the peace of God be upon you. It's actually a dua. Wa rahmatullah, and the mercy of Allah. Wa barakatuh, and His blessings. Barakat here is in the plural form. The singular is barakah. Okay? And then the teacher responds after Hashim initiates the greeting. The teacher responds, al-mudarris, wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Basically returns the same saying. Right? So we won't go through it again. Hashim then responds and says, Kaifa. Kaifa is a question meaning how. How. Haluka. Hal. Hal is condition. Hal is condition. The kaf in Arabic is called kaf al-khitab, the kaf of addressing. Dhamir muttasil, it is an attached pronoun and it refers to the one who you're speaking with. Okay? So kaifa haluka. How is your condition? And hal, the plural of hal is ahwal. Ahwal. Okay? Ahwal, as opposed to ahwal. Sometimes, us non-Arabs, we say ahwal. And ahwal is actually the plural of hawl, which means fear and terror. So not ahwal, ahwal, ahwal. Okay? كيف حالك يا أستاذ? O teacher, Ustadh. Ya is harfun nida, the particle of calling. Ustadh is teacher or professor. And in this case, just teacher. Ustadh, okay, the plural of that is asatida. Asatida. How are you, basically, my teacher? And he doesn't say my teacher here, but that's what he's referring to. How are you, teacher? لعلك, لعل is from the sisters of inna wa akhawatuha. لعلك بخير. Perhaps you are, or hopefully you are doing well. Hopefully you are doing well. Okay? What we call in Arabic at-taraji. The hope is that you're doing well. Bi is with, khair, with good, but meaning good. لعلك. And the kaf also here after la'alla is going back to the teacher. Okay. The teacher responds and says, Alhamdulillah. Alhamdu means all the praise. All the praise exclusively lillah. Belongs to God, belongs to Allah. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Wa kayfa haluka ant, ya Hashim. And then he responds and says, and how are you doing, O Hashim? Okay, anta is not needed there, but he's giving that for emphasis there. Okay, the anta is actually badal for kaf. Okay, all right. وكيف حالك أنت يا هاشم? And then أنا أحبك كثيرا يا هاشم. He says أنا, I. The teacher says أنا, I. أحب, I love. The verb is أحب, past tense. يحب, present tense. أحب means I love. إحباب is the noun. أحب is the فعل الأمر, the imperative. أحب means I love. Love who? Here again comes the كاف الخطاب. Okay, أحبك. I love you كثيرا, a lot. يا هاشم, O Hashim. إنك, indeed you are. Okay, طالب, student. طالب is student. Okay, the plural is طلاب or طلبة, طلبة or طلاب. ذكي, here comes an adjective for طالب. ذكي means intelligent or smart. And ذكي, the plural, not zaki, because sometimes non-Arabs make the mistake of saying zaki. Zaki is a different, has a different meaning. ذكي here, ذكي. And the plural is أذكياء. أذكياء is the plural. ومجتهد, مجتهد, diligent, assiduous, hardworking. The plural is مجتهدون. مجتهدون. Indeed, you are an intelligent, hardworking student. وذو خلق. ذو Dhu means someone who possesses like a characteristic, okay, or a capability or some type of authority, like dhul, yani dhul arsh, for example, okay, it could be something physical, okay. Dhul aid, the possessor of strength, like Dawood alayhi salam, dhul aid, okay. Here is dhul khuluq. Khuluq is good manners. So he is well, we would translate that as not as he is the possessor of good manners. That's kind of sounds kind of stuffy. He is well mannered, okay? And then he says, amin. Here is harful istifham, the alif of asking a question. Min is a preposition. Are you from Pakistan? The you part comes here actually later. Pakistan with a ba, right? Because there's no pa in Arabic. And so that's why you say Bebsi, not Pepsi, right? Amin Pakistan ant, and here there's a fatha, so you don't say Amin Pakistani. So grammar students know that it's ghayr munsarif, is mamnu' min as-sarf. In English we call it a diptote. Pakistan is a diptote. So we do not put a kasra there after the preposition min. Amin Pakistan ant. Or min from India, or are you from India, ya Hashim? Okay, are you from India? So he responds and says, Inni, indeed I. Now there should be two dots here. Sometimes they don't put the two dots. Kind of like the Mus'haf style of writing without the dots, but in regular Arabic we put the dots. Inni min al-Hind. No, I am from India. Okay. The teacher further says, wow. The wa here is harfu adaf. And means and. It's a conjunction particle. وَزَمِيلُك, and your classmate, could be colleague in an office setting, but here it's a classmate. وَزَمِيلُك, and your classmate. The plural of zamil is zumala. Zumala. وَزَمِيلُك الَّذِي. الَّذِي is a relative pronoun meaning who. وَزَمِيلُك الَّذِي, and your classmate who kharaja, left. Kharaja is past tense. Yakhruju is present tense. Ukhruj is imperative. Khuruj is the noun. وَزَمِيلُكَ الَّذِي خَرَجَ مَعَكَ. Ma'ak is ma'a plus kaf. With, ma'a means with. Kaf, you, with you. Al-an, now, or just now. Min, or from al-fasl, the classroom. The plural of fasl, classroom, is fusul. Fusul, okay? Ahuwa, is he, again, alif of istifham, or asking a question. Ahuwa aidan, is he also. Aidan means also. Ahuwa aidan min al-Hind, from India. La, no. Innahu min Pakistan, he is from Pakistan. Okay, he is from Pakistan. The teacher then says that he's kind of switching the subject here. Inna sa'ataka, indeed your watch. Sa'a is watch. Sa'atun. Okay, the plural is sa'at. Sa'at. Okay, sometimes it's difficult for non-Arabs to when, for example, when the alif and the ain come like that, so they compensate that with a hamza and say sa'at. This is a mistake in the pronunciation. It's not sa'a, it's sa'a. Sa'a, not sa'a. Okay, sa'ataka. Inna sa'ataka jamila. Indeed, your watch is beautiful. Inna sa'ataka jamilatun ya Hashim. Your watch is beautiful, O Hashim. He says, Amin al-Yabanihi, is it from Japan? Is it from Japan? Amin, is it from Japan? He is plural, goes back to the watch actually, right? Because it's plural. Okay, and then he responds and says, La, no. Innaha, indeed it is from India. It is from India. Now, inna, by the way, I keep translating it as indeed, but in English, we say that, but we don't have to say that. In Arabic, inna is not really a word, it's a particle to indicate the emphasis. Okay? I'm just saying indeed because just so you get the idea of there's an emphasis here. Okay? The teacher comes back and asks another question. He says, Aghaliyatun hiya? Is it expensive? and the noun is ghalin, the adjective noun is ghalin for masculine, but he uses the feminine here. Why? Because aghaliyatun, it goes back again to the watch, which is feminine. Aghaliyatun hiya. Is it expensive? Or rakhisa, cheap or inexpensive. Again, feminine because it goes back to sa. So rakhisun is the masculine, rakhisatun is the feminine equivalent. Rakhisatun, inexpensive. And then he comes back and says, innaha rakhisatun jiddan. Jiddan means a lot or very, very. Okay? So he says it is very inexpensive. And then he says, innaha, indeed it is bi. Now see this bi here, right before mi'a. Mi'a means 100, but right before the 100 is this particle bi. Bi means basically it costs. That's how we would translate that in English. We wouldn't say, indeed it is with 100 rupees, right? We don't say that. Indeed it cost, okay, 100 rupees. Rubiya is rupee, but in Arabic, when it comes after 100, it comes in singular form, rubiya, okay? The plural is rubiyat. But when we translate it in English, we don't say it costs 100 rupee, or we say 100 rupees, right? Plural. And faqat means only. Faqat, only. Okay? The teacher comes back and asks another question. He says, kam. Kam in Arabic is called kam al-istifhamiyya, the interrogative kam, basically indicating quantity, how much, the number of something. Okay? And he responds, he asks a question, kam akhan. Akhan is in the singular form. Akhan is in the singular form. In Arabic, when you ask how many or how much of something, what follows, the noun that follows it, is in the mansub singular form, not in the plural form. So you don't say kam ikhwanan or kam ikhwatan, which are, by the way, both the plurals of akh. You say kam akhan, but when we translate it in English, we don't say how many brother, we say how many brothers. Okay, lak, do you have? We don't say how many brothers for you, we say how many brothers do you have? Now, when you're talking about relationships, for example, family relationships or body parts or anything that has permanence in terms of your existence, we use harfu jar lam. But when we talk about things like your car or your computer or your iPad or your pencil, for example, then we use inda. Okay? So we say kam qalaman indak. How many pens do you have? Kam qalaman indak, rather than kam qalaman lak. Okay? You'll be understood if you interchange them, but from a technical perspective, it's better to use lam with things of permanent relationships and inda with less permanent relationships. Okay, so he says, how many brothers do you have, O Hashim? So let's go to the last part of the dialogue here. Hashim says, li thalathatu ikhwatin. Let me just expand that a little. Li thalathatu ikhwatin. I have 3 brothers. Lam plus ya al-mutakallim. Lam plus ya al-mutakallim means I have. And he's not saying indi because he's talking about brothers, right? Rather than pens or computers, okay? Now, thalathatu is feminine. It's called what we call in Arabic the adad, or the number. The ma'dud is the thing that's counted, okay? And in Arabic, the numbers 3 through 10, we talk about this more in class, but I'll just touch on this real quickly. When you have numbers 3 through 10, the adad and the ma'dud have a conflict, mukhalafa, not mutabaqa or muwafaqa, okay? So the thalatha is feminine. Why? Because ikhwa is masculine. That's just the way it works. So thalathatu is feminine, ikhwatin is masculine, okay? You don't say li thalathu ikhwatin, okay? Then the teacher says, at-tullabun hum, are they students? Tullab being the plural of talib. Then Hashim responds, la, no. Innahum tujjar, no, they are tujar. Tujar is businessmen or merchants. Okay, and the plural, the singular of tujar is tajir, one who engages in tijara, commerce, business. Okay, so tujar. No, they are businessmen. They are merchants. And then the teacher asks another question. وَكَمْ أُخْتًا لَكْ, and how many sisters? Ukht is sister, but the way we translate that is in the plural. وَكَمْ أُخْتًا لَكْ, and the plural is actually coming in the next sentence, so I'll save it for that. The plural of ukht. He responds, and Hashim responds and says, لي أربع أخوات. Now notice here, just like up here, you have the disparity in terms of gender between the number and the thing that's counted. Same thing here, but it's reversed. Why? Akhawat, which is the plural of ukht, okay, sisters, it is feminine, and so arba'u is going to be masculine, not arba'atu. Arba'atu akhawatin. It's arba'u akhawatin. I have 4 sisters. The teacher comes back and says, Afil Hind, are they in India? Hunna, them? Are they in India? Al-an, right now? Then Hashim responds and says, La, inna hunna, no, they are huna. Huna means here. Okay? Hunak means over there, and hunalika, over there. Huna means here. Bil madinati al-munawwara. Bil madina. Madina is city, okay? And the plural, there's 2 plurals for Medina, Madain and Mudun. Madain and Mudun. And the adjective is al-munawwara. Munawwara comes from the verb nawwara, to illuminate. Nawwara, yunawwinu, tanwir. And al-munawwara, it's illuminated. It's an adjective. It's an adjective for al-Madina, the illuminated city. Why is it illuminated? Because Safwatul Bashar, Khairul Wara, Ar-Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam illuminated the city with his presence. Bil Madinatil Munawwara. Okay? Ma'a, with, Abi, my father. Ab is father. Abi is my father. Wa ummi. Is mother. Wa ummi is my mother. The plural of ab is aba, and the plural of is ummahat. And then the teacher asks one final question. He says, Atalibatun hunna? Are they students? He said, Hashim responds and says, La, innahunna, no, indeed they are mudarrisatun, they are teachers. Mudarrisat is the sound feminine plural for the singular noun mudarrisa, female teacher. Mudarris is a male teacher. Mudarrisun, that's the plural for mudarris, but here mudarrisat, female teachers. So they are teachers where bil madrasat al-thanawiyya, in the madrasa is school, the plural is madaris, and athanawiyya is the adjective for al-madrasa. Athanawiyya means secondary. So they are basically high school teachers, okay? Now, I want you to go back. I'm going to end the video here, but I want you to, now that you know the basic meanings here, I want you to go back and practice your comprehension and listening, okay? By playing at least the first half of the video. All right, that is it for now. This is Abu Rasheed signing off. I hope you benefited. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this episode and forward it to your community members, people you know, acquaintances, family, friends. And I would really appreciate that. Please keep me in your dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and your families and friends. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.